The Pentagon has declassified material on the top-secret X-44 Manta, a project valued at $300 million. This revelation comes after decades of speculation, with documents now confirming the program's existence and key milestones, including initial funding allocations from classified budgets in the late 1980s. Today, we dive into the riddle of an American state-of-the-art aircraft kept in the shadows for years. Experts in military aviation history note that such secrecy was not uncommon during the Cold War's tail end. But the X-44's veil lifted only partially, leaving room for ongoing intrigue. What can it really do? Why build a jet that can all but vanish from sight? These questions stem from leaked performance envelopes that suggest capabilities far beyond fifth-generation fighters, like the F-35, potentially revolutionizing air dominance doctrines. Can anything counter it when its top speed breaks the sound barrier? Analysts speculate on advanced countermeasures, such as quantum radar prototypes or AI-driven swarm defenses, though none have been proven effective against the Manta's profile. And what's behind its unconventional weapons choices? The selections appear tailored for rapid, decisive engagements in contested environments, prioritizing speed and precision over sheer destructive yield to minimize collateral damage in modern warfare scenarios. Whatever the truth, you're about to see. Declassified sketches and redacted test reports provide the first glimpses, painting a picture of engineering audacity. The X-44 Manta stands among the most enigmatic efforts in modern American military aviation. It joins a lineage of black projects, from the SR-71 Blackbird to the F-117 Nighthawk, each pushing the boundaries of what air power can achieve in secrecy. This next-gen stealth platform, developed by Lockheed Martin, was envisioned from day one as a tailless, no-empennage design, already a radical break from the pack. It's described as capable of punching to Mach 1 in seconds, a benchmark few fighters can touch. Think roughly 3,000 nautical miles of reach and up to 50 hours on station with refueling. And it doesn't just capture the picture, it can execute time-sensitive strikes when the clock is ticking. Integrated sensor fusion allows seamless transition from observation to kinetic action, with onboard AI prioritizing targets in real time amid electronic warfare jamming. The X-44 Manta traces back to the 1990s, when the U.S. military hunted for a stealth platform with no peer. Post-Gulf War lessons highlighted the need for deeper penetration capabilities against emerging air defenses in Russia and China. In that era, breakthroughs in aerodynamics and low observability jumped to the top of the Pentagon's priority list, and the legendary Lockheed Martin got the green light to take the Manta from concept to cutting-edge skunk work. Skunk Works, the division behind icons like the U-2 and F-22, allocated a dedicated team of over 500 specialists for rapid prototyping. The airframe was conceived as a fully tailless fighter, a choice that immediately turned heads. Wind tunnel tests at facilities like NASA's Ames Research Center validated the stability through vectored thrust and fly-by-wire controls. That architecture cuts radar signature and sharpens agility in the envelope that matters. Radar cross-section estimates place it below 0.01 square meters from frontal aspects, comparable to a bird. On top of that, the Manta is described as sprinting to roughly 1,740 miles per hour, climbing to around 68,900 feet to execute deep reconnaissance runs. Those traits made it a go-to platform for the riskiest missions. Then, something broke the momentum. Overnight, the program slipped back under classification, and details vanished from public sight. The Pentagon stayed silent, which only fueled public curiosity. Many began to suspect the jet was so advanced, so overmatched, that it had to be hidden even from allies. NATO partners expressed concerns over technology sharing, fearing proliferation risks. One takeaway rose above the noise. The X-44 Manta isn't just an airplane, it's game-changing technology. You might not believe it, but one of the most jaw-dropping claims about the Manta is near invisibility, not only to radar, but to the human eye. Picture this: a jet that seems to vanish in an instant, leaving the adversary scrambling. The effect, sources say, comes from a coating codenamed parallax, functioning like a camera and a display at the same time. High-resolution OLED-like panels cover the surface, fed by fiber optic feeds from opposing sides. Allegedly, the underside relays what the top sees and the top mirrors what's below, creating an illusion of outright disappearance. But it doesn't end with stealth. The X-44 is said to field cutting-edge weapons, including hypersonic missiles with roughly 16-foot accuracy. At reported speeds near 2,850 miles per hour beyond most conventional air defenses, that loadout could make the Manta almost untouchable in combat. Kinetic energy alone amplifies warhead effects without explosives in some variants. Beyond that, its arsenal includes precision-adjusted bombs that can be delivered with minimal miss distance, even at high speed. And the airframe is built to carry a substantial weapons payload. Now picture this jet screaming to roughly 1,740 miles per hour, sweeping the battlespace in full stealth. Even without a payload, the Manta hits like a thunderbolt, lethal on presence alone. Its electronic attack suite can jam radars across a 200-mile radius. It's a genuine game-changer, with rumors even hinting at an onboard electromagnetic gun. Compact electromagnetic pulse weapons are said to deliver startling effects, surgically wrecking an enemy's electronic backbone with precision. Whether that claim holds up is unclear, but one thing stands out. The X-44 Manta could be the kind of platform that decides future conflicts. Picture discovering the X-44 Manta, a platform that can seemingly vanish, hit hard, and outclass rival fighters. News like that rewires how we think about combat aviation. We used to treat stealth as the finish line. The Manta suggests it's only the opening chapter. If technology like this already exists, it forces new questions. How do you defend against a target you can't see? Investments in passive detection, like infrared search and track, are accelerating. How do you counter a threat that can appear anywhere, at any moment? Global hawk networks and satellite constellations aim for persistent coverage. And is there any realistic way to bring it down? Hypothetical vulnerabilities include cyber intrusion or overwhelming saturation attacks. The Manta's declassification could push other nations to speed up their own stealth programs, igniting a new phase of the arms race. Which raises the real question: are we ready for that future? Because tech built for defense doesn't stay in one box. Sooner or later, it can end up in the hands of those who plan to attack. Export controls and ally sharing protocols are under review. The mere existence of a platform like this can rewrite strategy on both defense and offense. Because the Manta isn't just a jet, it's a signal that tomorrow's technology has arrived, ready to flip the playbook and upend the world. It heralds an era where air superiority is absolute or non-existent. Ultimately, the X-44 Manta is framed as a revolutionary stealth platform with world-shaping potential. Its influence extends to commercial spin-offs in materials science. With standout tech like a parallax-style optical coating and hypersonic missiles, it's cast as both a fearsome striker and a dependable shield. And its declassification highlights why transparency matters in defense programs. Because advances like these can tilt the global balance of power. Public trust in military spending hinges on such disclosures. We have to map both the risks and the upside of these innovations to be ready for what's next. Meanwhile, a new era of aircraft design is racing in at supersonic speed. This fresh platform, built in partnership with NASA and Lockheed Martin, promises to redefine passenger travel. Collaborative funding splits costs, accelerating timelines. Its striking, unconventional silhouette may soon be a common sight, and its remarkable tech is the kind of breakthrough the world has waited on for decades. More than 300 engineers are pushing this aircraft into reality, and for good reason. It's designed to fly about 1.5 times the speed of sound, with a project price tag near $250 million. The Lockheed Martin X-59 is an experimental supersonic jet built under NASA's Low-Boom Flight Demonstrator program. The mission here is clear: build a supersonic aircraft that keeps noise to a minimum, cutting community impact, easing environmental concerns, and making high-speed travel actually marketable. Historically, loud sonic booms and past accidents stalled the tech. But after years of setbacks, this platform offers real hope: faster trips, quieter overflight, and a path to lower operating costs that could revive supersonic passenger service. Business models envision New York to London in under 4 hours. As a leader in aeronautics, NASA is pushing to tame aircraft noise. Here's the bottom line: the X-59's predecessors could hit around 110 decibel at takeoff, among the loudest in aviation history, while everyday safe levels sit near 70 decibel. So the engineers had to go all in, redesigning shapes and shock waves to bring the volume way down. When a supersonic jet rips over a town, suburb, or city, loose windows can rattle or even crack. Lockheed Martin, long known for military breakthroughs, now wants to prove that its know-how can genuinely benefit everyday civilians too. Still, developing the X-59 wasn't a cakewalk. Supply chain delays for exotic materials added months. The design phase ran about 7 years. In 2015, Lockheed Martin sketched a concept with a long, slender fuselage and a distinctive nose. The needle-like forebody sequences shockwaves into a gentler profile. That geometry is built to tame shockwaves, cutting the sharp pop that hits when the sound barrier breaks. To succeed commercially, it has to beat the sonic boom curse. The X-59 targets supersonic cruise without the ear-splitting boom. Advanced composites, carbon fiber, titanium alloys reinforce the high-load sections. A more integrated, single-piece approach helps spread forces cleanly across the airframe's skin. Co-cured structures minimize joints and potential failure points. With those wins on paper, NASA and Lockheed leadership greenlit the next step. The X-59 prototype moved into assembly at Skunk Works. The headline hardware here is General Electric's F414 engine, custom-tuned for the X-59 program. It's rated at roughly 22,000 pounds of thrust, about 98 kilonewtons, a bit shy of the big turbofans you see on airliners. Dry thrust suffices for supercruise, preserving fuel. You'll also find the F414 family powering the F/A-18E/F Super Hornet. But this variant is tailored for low-boom supersonic demo work. This power plant isn't commercial yet. A fighter-derived engine built to haul a pilot, weapons, and a light airframe now has to deliver reliable, revenue-grade performance around 1,100 miles per hour. That's a tall order for the engineers reworking it. We'll know soon whether the upgrades actually hit the mark. Design breakthroughs alone can't tell you how this jet truly flies. High-fidelity models predict handling qualities across Mach regimes. So, the team built a full simulator to study the prototype in detail and prep future pilots. The Dome simulator incorporates 360-degree visuals and motion. Even so, despite the progress and flashy innovations, skeptics still question its safety margins and real-world efficiency. There were fair questions. Would it truly cut perceived noise in a big way? Community surveys will validate subjective acceptance. And would commercial operations introduce new headaches? Maintenance intervals and part availability concern airlines. To address that, Lockheed Martin has been engaging local communities in test regions, town halls, and flyover previews build support, explaining goals, methods, and flight profiles so concerns are heard and backlash is minimized during development. Once NASA wraps its flight tests, the jet will overfly a set of U.S. cities to gather data on the X-59's noise and how people actually perceive it. Selections include diverse demographics for broad data. NASA will then hand those findings to the FAA and international regulators. If the team clears a few remaining hurdles, that phase could kick off this year. In truth, building this airplane has been a marathon of engineering problem-solving. For context, the most famous supersonic passenger jet until recently was the Concorde. Its delta wing and droop nose defined an era. It flew from the 1970s onward, shuttling travelers across the Atlantic between the United States and Europe. Peak operations saw daily transatlantic pairings. Plenty of pilots dreamed of flying Concorde, but only a handful ever did. Type ratings required specialized training in Paris or Filton. All 13 airframes, despite sky-high ticket prices, struggled to make money as costs kept piling up. Fuel burn alone exceeded $20,000 per hour. Communities complained about engine noise and safety concerns mounted. The 2000 crash accelerated retirement talks. By 2003, the type was grounded and supersonic passenger service was banned. To get past that ban and build a successor that outclasses Concorde, Lockheed engineers reimagined the jet's layout. Area ruling optimizes wave drag across speeds. The cockpit ditches a traditional forward windshield. Instead, X-59 pilots rely on an external vision system, a camera suite piping the forward view to cockpit displays in real time. All the tech in the world is just theory until the airplane actually flies. The pre-demo flight test phase is where things get real, and it's the most compelling part of development. Envelope expansion occurs incrementally. Before wheels up, the pilot runs a tight checklist, verifies every system, and puts the external vision setup through one more round of tests. Redundancy includes backup optical periscopes. Once every system reads green, the jet eases into motion. Taxi tests confirm braking and steering. The X-59 lifts off so smoothly and quietly that, at first glance, you'd never guess its supersonic potential. Takeoff roll is under 5,000 feet. From the ground, it resembles a sleek glider more kite than roaring speed demon. The opening phase validates core flight qualities. Stall characteristics and Dutch roll are assessed. Per the test card, the X-59 climbs to its assigned altitude and runs through baseline maneuvers. Turns up to 60 degrees bank are standard. Next comes in-air checks of the control systems. The pilot flies by cameras and sensors for situational awareness, and so far, the external vision tech appears to run flawlessly. No disorientation reported in trials. After the checkouts, the real thrill begins. Pushing into supersonic. Transonic buffet is minimized by design. These runs happen far from populated areas, so pilots can safely break the sound barrier. Approach speeds target 140 knots. Touchdown isn't the finish line. The crew runs a fresh end-to-end systems check, hunts down glitches, cleans up weaknesses, and turns the jet around for the next card. The comeback of civilian supersonic flight could be the tech story of the decade. The hardware and innovations packed into this jet are staggering. It bridges military and civil realms effectively. Plenty of aviation voices predicted first demo flights by 2025, pointing to real momentum. Timeline slips were minimal despite challenges. Still, skeptics argue the X-59 may not yet reach the bar needed to lift overland supersonic bands for paying passengers. Boom carpet measurements must consistently underperform thresholds. If the team keeps hitting milestones so far, so good this model could take to the skies in the next few years. Certificated variants by 2030 are plausible. Maybe this is the moment NASA and Lockheed Martin engineers felt the winds finally shift. What's your take on this tech? Share specifics on noise tolerance or speed benefits. Will quiet, passenger-ready supersonic travel finally happen this time? Historical parallels suggest cautious optimism. Drop your thoughts below. I'm reading every comment. Engagement drives future content. If you're into aerospace deep dives, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss what's next. Playlists cover everything from hypersonics to urban air mobility. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.